talking about basic programming or cloud computing or mobile computing or whatever else. And I'm very confident that we are going to have truly an institution of excellence in the premises of Al-Azhar University.
As long as we're talking about projects or cooperation between both countries, I think you also have something that is successful that already took place between both countries regarding education. And education is one of the most important issues to be discussed if we want to just move forward. So tell us more about how can we take benefit of this?
Well, you know, what we are trying to do is there are two areas of contemporary education systems in which India has done very well, and both curiously have come through the private sector. We have companies like NIIT and Aptech, which are world leaders in terms of upskilling people in information technology. I mean, if today India is regarded as an IT superpower, it's because of the millions of people who've been trained by these organizations. And the other is companies like EduComp, which have created curriculum which is digital. And these digital tools of learning through smart class programs can really be a game changer, because in countries like India and in Egypt, what you have is large number of schools, but not enough highly trained teachers. And so the gap between a good school in a big city and a small school in a village is not just the physical infrastructure, but it's the quality of teachers that you get. What technology can do is to reduce that gap by making the same set of tools available in the big city, in Zamalek or Heliopolis, as well as in a smaller place.
When did this project take place?
Well, right now we are working with the Ministry of Education.
When did it start?
The inauguration of the pilot project was on the 26th of February in 6 schools simultaneously, 3 experimental schools and 3 schools of excellence. They will study the results for 3 months for physics, biology, chemistry, math and English, using the latest state-of-the-art technologies where they use graphics and animations and 3D visualizations to explain concepts. And the students and teachers will give their feedback. And if that feedback is positive, I'm told that the Ministry of Education is quite serious in upgrading a lot of its schools using these new state-of-the-art tools, whether from India or from somewhere else. But certainly an Indian project is in the running for it.
But another field that was addressed during Mohammed Morsi's visit to India was the satellite, an Egyptian satellite, EGCubeSat-1, will be launched with the help of India. How would that be happening in the future, or when will be that happening?
All right. You know, over the last 10 years, we've more or less perfected a very, very robust satellite launch vehicle. It is called the PSLV, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. It has now had 23 consecutive successful launches. The last one was about 3 weeks back, and it launched 7 Canadian satellites into orbit, along with a major Indo-French satellite and a couple of Indian satellites. So we have the launch vehicle, which is very reliable, and a number of countries are taking advantage of it. Egypt and Egyptian scientists at the NARSS have been very successful in developing satellites on an experimental basis. This is a new small satellite that will serve research purposes.
Yes.
And we said, as a gesture of friendship from our side, use our launch vehicle. It's very reliable. We'll put it up there, and we'll do it at our cost.
From interventions in healthcare to the innovative use of information technology, this modern, confident India is discovering new ways to bring the benefits of economic growth to every citizen. It is also increasingly a player of note on the world stage, not only because of its economic strength, but also through its soft power. Through ancient systems and traditional knowledge, India invites the world to connect with both its ancient past and its present. In the recent past, many world leaders have chosen to take that invitation, honoring India with their presence and recognizing the place it has taken on the world stage.
talking about renewable energy and solar power, I don't know if this is one of the most interesting things to be discussed, and I know there is something related to this, as India will select a village to work on it.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us more about it, because it is a dream to any Egyptian, I believe. So when it comes to
Solar.
energy and electricity,
Well, both our countries are well endowed with abundant sunshine. We have in India very ambitious plans to ramp up the amount of power that we generate through solar. In fact, under the National Solar Energy Mission, we intend to add 20,000 megawatts of solar power in the next 10 years. And so we're really scaling it up. When our minister was here about a year back, there was an interest from the Egyptian side in collaborating in this area, and we said we're happy to bring our systems here. So you identify a place of your choosing, and we will set up a pilot.
the government will select the place
The
or the
Egyptian
village.
government.
The Egyptian
Yeah,
government.
the
yes.
Ministry of Electricity then looked at around, and they chose one of the most interesting, most remote locations, a village in Siva, in the Matru Governorate.
Okay.
And so that village is the one which has been chosen for a pilot project, which we will electrify using solar power.
I guess the final field that was addressed during President Mohammed Morsi's visit to India was the field of communications between Egypt and India. What
Well-
was really gained during that visit?
I think it's more than that. It's one is the MOU that we had on information and communication technology, which is a very broad-ranging MOU, and I think the idea is some of the cutting-edge stuff that India has been doing in this area, in terms of smarter targeting of subsidies, in terms of direct cash transfers into banking systems, in terms of evolving a tablet which is less than $40 in cost and can really be made available to schools to bridge the digital divide. There are interesting things that we are talking about where India, by virtue of its position in IT
Yes.
and the very huge market of 1.2 billion people that we have, has managed to bring down the costs and created the platforms for it. And now countries like Egypt can take benefit of the fact that we've already engaged in that area. But it's really going beyond that, beyond
Yes.
IT, because we're also talking about small and medium enterprises. We're talking about microfinance. I think one of the most interesting agreements that were signed during the visit, not at the government level, was between the Social Fund for Development, the World Bank, and the Small Industries Development Bank of India to try and bring some of India's experience in incubating, in nurturing small enterprises.
Yes.
Because SIDBI, this bank, has over the last decade funded 1 million self-made entrepreneurs and enabled them to become businessmen and businesswomen. Now, if we can bring some of that experience into Egypt, then we are really trying to help create jobs at the lowest level and create entrepreneurs out of people who might be unemployed but who have ideas in their head.
Yes.
A similar MOU is between the Social Fund for Development and the National Small Industries Corporation of India, which develops simple technologies
Yes.
that you can actually, out of a garage, start a small industry. And I think, one is the glamorous stuff of satellites and IT centers and all of that, but there's a lot of very practical stuff, and if we can get that right, then you will see changes for people at the lowest level where it really matters.
And this is, I think, the most important thing. Mr. Navideep Suri, Ambassador of India to Egypt, thank you very much. It was really a pleasure having you with us on the show.
Pleasure
you
to
very
be with
much.
you, and
Thank
look
you,
forward to
Your
being back. Thank you.
And now moving on to a break, and we'll be back to resume the Nile cruise.
The Arab Academy for Science, Technology and Maritime Transport organized a three-day event entitled the International Maritime Transport and Logistics Conference, Marlock 2.
No problem now. We have to upgrade ourselves, to upgrade our facilities, to attract many ships to come to cross the Suez Canal and transit Suez Canal. And we are doing our best to have our plans for upgrading our facilities. And I think now we start the plan of upgrading and to improve our facilities, inshallah.
A number of participants from Arab and foreign nations participated in the event. The conference aims to attract the attention of investors, businessmen, and international funding banks to Egypt through defining the developmental plans, proposed projects, and the regulating rules of investment in the region.
Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport is an expert house, okay, that's specialized in education, research, consultations, and training. One of our main streams of the academy towards the internationalization is the international scientific international conferences. So today comes an international conference that has been arranged by the academy. We prepared for that for a whole year now. We invited most of the all over the world universities, most of the working in the industry of maritime and logistics and all disciplines that cooperates together. Today, this conference, the main topic is Suez Canal, the development of this corridor. We know that this is extremely important for the modernization of Egypt, and also it's very critical and for the Arab world and for the whole world, not only for Arab world. So that's why we have invited most of those who are interested in this industry, and we have seen many of those who belong to this industry in most of the Arab countries, from most of the Arab world, from Canada, from US, from England, from all over the world. We have researchers and scientists that who are working in this area.
Several workshops were held on the sidelines of the conference with the objective of enhancing the safety, security, and efficiency of maritime transport and to develop the maritime educational and training future in Egypt. Nada Rabia for Nile International.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise. Egyptian Islamist groups held a demonstration outside Cairo's main media complex to protest what they say is a media bias. The demonstration followed the March 22nd clashes between opponents and supporters of President Mohammed Morsi and, of course, the Muslim Brotherhood. And today we are welcoming Dr. Yassin Lashin, the professor of mass media at the Faculty of Mass Communication in Cairo University. Thank you very much, Doctor, for being with us today on Nile Cruise.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
First of all, as a media expert, how do you see the ongoing controversy upon the media and all what is going on these days?
Well, the ongoing controversy about the mass media's bias or dealing with issues in a specific way was an issue which was with us and with us now, and it will stay with us as long as we are living. We blame the media during the era of Mubarak for being, a dancer to the government and praising the achievements of Mubarak and his government, and then we cursed Mubarak and we have the revolution, and then we attacked the mass media during the revolution, and I was one of the harsh attackers of the Egyptian media. Today, the political system in Egypt, the Muslim Brothers and the Islamic trend and the Islamic thought and what they call the Islamic thought are asking the media to be praising, dancing according to their interests. I mean, taking the media to the system of Mubarak, and whoever try to express a different point of view will be considered working against the government, will be considered an enemy, and will be attacked, and his head will be cut, and he will be threatened, and will be searched, and all what you are seeing, it's killing the freedom of expression